Welcome to the All In Podcast, Episode 6. My name is Aram, and with me is Asef, and we have a very special guest with us, Asef's sister. We're gonna recognize her today as Api, and for the rest of the podcast listeners, that's what you guys will refer to her as.
Are we doing it wrong, by the way? I just want to know, because every other family I've met, the sister is Apu. Where did Api come from?
So for whatever reason, when you guys were younger, I think mom was trying to figure out what would be the best thing to call me. And usually if you say Apu, you say the name in front of it.
Yes.
It's like Boro Apu and Sudo Apu for like older and younger. But I was the only one when we were younger. It was just you and me.
Yes.
So mom was just like, oh, Api is cute. So she taught you Api. And
So it's not a real word.
Wait,
No.
but you weren't the only one. We had an older thing that we actually do refer to as name Apu.
Okay, but all the older ones were in Bangladesh before, and then the one older one that we had,
Yes.
we only saw occasionally. I was in your guys' everyday life. So saying my name and then Apu was like too long. So
Well-
I got known as the one.
Where did she come up with like the P, like Api part?
I don't know.
Right?
Do you want to invite mom upstairs and ask her the question?
Next week's host.
This is how unprofessional this podcast is. We're doing this in my room while my mom is like cooking the kind of food that would make our clothes smell downstairs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next week's host, your mom. Dope. The pod went out yesterday. How was
Yeah.
that? We went brunching. I felt
Yeah.
very bougie white girl.
We all went out
We went
for
brunching.
brunch and
Brunch at 3 p.m. though.
yeah, 3 p.m.
Yo, I was so mad that nobody let me call it brunch anymore. Everyone was like,
Nope,
no.
it's lunch now.
Yeah,
or
no.
lunch.
Everyone was like, it's 3:30. It's not brunch anymore. They don't even serve the brunch menu anymore. That was super tight.
You know what the worst thing is at a restaurant? When you order something and someone next to you orders something else and their shit looks 20 times better than you, right?
You speaking
What-
from experience?
No, yeah, that happens.
I mean, the opposite of that
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
too.
I got the good plate, and someone who was with us ordered like fajitas, and it was just like
Enchiladas.
two enchiladas. It was
Yes.
like two little like they're the small shits ever, right? And he just the amount of immense disappointment on his face, like it made my heart hurt.
He
Like-
always does this. He'll be between two things, and then he'll pick the other thing, and then when it arrives, he's disappointed.
It happens. Like, what are you gonna do at that point? At that point, you just suck it up. And you know what sucks? You're paying like a lot of money. You expect like the food to
That
be
shit was like 20 fucking bucks.
yeah, like
But-
it is what it is.
The size of the enchiladas was normal. I ordered enchiladas at a different restaurant last week, and it looked exactly the
It was
same.
the price of 3 Chipotles.
Yeah, but like no. I think the enchiladas were actually cheaper than
It
the
was like
burger.
16, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the enchiladas
Still
were
too
cheaper than
much.
the burger. The burger was a lot. Whatever.
But he said they were good, so afterward he was okay.
The potty went out. I said, if you want to put in your sangria story now, like, what's good? Like,
We have a lot of bad luck at going to restaurants together. Like,
people drop burgers on
last
us.
time, we had the worst service ever, right? So some random waitress, like, it was her first day on the job. And, of course, it was her first day on the job,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Oh yeah, she was in training because
Yeah.
like a
She was
senior
the-
hostess was like guiding her around and stuff like
So
that.
she took a bunch of our orders and then got them 25% wrong. Every single thing was just, like, slightly off. Like, my burger was missing the bottom bun. Like, it was really fucked up. And then finally... like,
Imagine putting that on the thing, like, hold the bun. Like-
Nah, this is the part that got me, right? So we like, I hate doing this. I hate being like, yo, fuck you, fuck this shit up, fix it. But everyone else I was with was down for that. So we kept being like, you got this entirely wrong. Like, I wanted water.
No, SF. None of us. It wasn't like a small thing. Like she forgot the pickles, right? It was like huge things where like someone was vegetarian and
Yeah.
they just didn't get her a vegetarian burger.
Yeah, so anyway, finally, like, the person training this waitress on her first day stepped in. She's like, I got this. Let me show you how it's done. She brings the burger over. First of all, it's the wrong burger. Second of all, she drops it on one of our laps. And she, like, the person who got the burger dropped on is just standing there with the burger, like, on their lap. And we just, like, stare into each other's eyes, like, for a second, like, me and the waitress. So I'm just like...
And she just like looks at it and like
No, but
complete
she
disappointment.
maintained her smile, and the girl who like was being trained was smiling her ass off. This was the greatest moment of her life.
She's just like, yes, I get away with
Yeah.
it. She fucked up.
Anyway, we paid for like half of that bill.
Yeah, because they fucked up.
They
half of
fucked
the
up.
bill.
They were just like, all right, we're
they
sorry.
just comped everything.
Regardless.
It's hilarious.
It was good. It was a good time.
And then yesterday,
I just dropped shit.
it's not that big of a deal.
I just
but
dropped shit on
everyone
you.
dropped an entire cup of sangria on my pants.
And SF was mad.
No, the problem with this is you could literally waterboard me in the restaurant and I wouldn't mind, right? But if I like drop a French fry on the floor, like my sister will flip the table and then hit me over the head with a chair, right?
Mind you, I thought you drop the sangria on yourself and I didn't say anything. So you're wrong.
That's the other thing. She also just assumed that it was my fault.
That's a pretty fair assumption, though. Let's be real, right? Like, if we're playing odds at the table, right? Like, most likely it was you.
Yeah,
drop
but
stuff on yourself all the time. Why is the logical assumption for it to not be you?
And this isn't why we brought up Beyond, all right?
Yeah.
We brought up Beyond to have some deep conversations, all right? So I'm gonna credit this tweeter. Her name is Bitch.
Yeah.
At Zacadelic. That's with a Z and a K and a delic, right? You're allowed to spray a man with Raid if he's under 5'11". Yo, like, tell me why this is okay.
There's 28 likes on this, and I see the little heart-shaped thing.
Oh,
right?
no,
this is
no,
on
no.
Facebook, actually. It's
Of
not
course
a tweet.
it's on Facebook.
There's
Girls like this aren't on Twitter now. They're on Facebook.
Well, that tweet is from Twitter.
And now
No, it's from Facebook.
and someone replied.
It's a status?
Yeah, I think
That's what Facebook says, not a tweet.
Yeah.
So someone
Wait, what? Where?
someone replied now, right? And now that I'm reading it back, I realize the person.
Twitter. It's a tweet.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
How is somebody hearting this on Twitter, then?
Okay, so they posted the face.
Somebody took a screenshot of it and then posted it
On
on
Facebook.
But it was originally
Alright, who gives a shit? Anyway, so yeah, the tweet is you're allowed to spray a man with Raid if he's under 5'11". And someone replied, and now reading it back, I realized that the someone who replied is also a woman.
Okay,
Her name
yes,
is
of course.
Caitlin.
Yes.
She goes, "Does this mean we can use elephant rifles on girls more than 200 pounds?"
Yo, shout out to Caitlin. Alright, no, but like, let's have a serious discussion here. That's fucked up. Because she's right? The same way that women shame men for being under 5'11", right?
I'm glad because I make the cut.
Her tweet is generous. Normally, other girls would say 6
6
foot.
feet, yeah.
She gave you guys an extra, shorter inch.
That's
So-
what we should be happy about?
So you should be
I
grateful.
feel like it's going up every year. Like, shouldn't 5'9" be the basis? Like, that's the average height. Can't you guys just accept that?
So are you guys disqualifying like Zac Efron and Taylor Lautner from being attractive? Because those dudes are
They're
like
short?
5'4". They're
Wait.
like 5'5".
Me, as a woman, I don't give a shit about height. Okay, not completely not give a shit. The person needs to be
That's a lie. I was gonna
at least like an inch taller than me. But that's not hard to achieve because I'm 5'2".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most of the girls are just like 4'3", and they're like, I need a 7-foot man. I need LeBron James in my life.
So let me ask you this. You wouldn't want your girl to be taller than you, right?
I don't know if I would mind that heavy.
I would be down for equal height.
But initial preference, if you immediately saw a girl and she was taller than you.
I think logistically just from when she wants to wear heels, she can't. Right? Like that perspective. Like I don't know how that all factors into
No, but I mean okay, it's one thing if you get to know somebody and then you really like them and then it turns out the height is a little inconvenient. Then you
Yes.
throw it out. But if it's you're swiping on Tinder or something and her height says 6'2".
First
You
of
think
all-
you're gonna swipe right on that?
I'm not putting my hand.
No, there you go. So you guys have the same thing. Just like you guys want your women to be the same height or shorter, we want the men to be the same
I
height
feel
or
like
taller.
the girls who put their height in their Tinder are being like, listen, I'm taller than you. Let's not even bother. Just move on.
There's
Just
a girl,
find some taller dudes.
Yeah.
there's a girl at my workplace who's very tall, so I think she just puts her height on her dating profiles because it's one of those things where
She gets it out of the way.
yeah,
She knows it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, let me not waste my time or your time.
Exactly.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, 'cause
but
when
that's not what I'm talking about. We're not talking about the girl being taller, right? We're saying because these girls aren't saying, oh, I need a guy taller than me. They're saying, I need a guy who's above a specific height, right?
Yeah.
If you're 4'3", why do you need Shaq? Right? And if you've noticed,
Isn't Shaq's girl 4'3"?
Shaq only knocks down girls that are Bow Wow's height. You know Shaq is knocking down Bow Wow's girl right now? That's what I'm saying. That's not the real problem. It's not she needs to be taller or she needs to be shorter. It's, why do you require a specific height?
Nah, to be fair, if you're say 5'9", you're dating a girl who's 5'10", you drop that Instagram picture where she looks slightly taller than you, maybe she's wearing heels too. You know you're gonna get that comment yo, she changed her diaper too.
Well, I honestly think the 6 foot and above thing is just a meme. People say that shit online to be funny. I don't know a single girl who actually has that requirement.
No, there's girls
No.
like that. What? There's girls like that.
Maybe just my friends are
Yo,
I don't know any girls
that's
that actually
'cause-
have that requirement.
Because you hang out with mature actual women, right? Actual regular girls that. They'll be like, oh, you're not 6 feet? Oh, you know what I've hated? Let's talk about some toxic feminine shit, right?
I'm scared.
I hate hearing the word, oh, he doesn't have big dick energy, right? What does that mean?
I don't know what that means either.
Yo, if you could see the amount of passion flowing off of
I'm
Aaron's
so-
face right now, he gets so heated about these things.
You know, I couldn't find the tweet, but there's tweets out there where it's like, listen, if your dick doesn't touch your like belly button,
Ew.
don't talk to me, right? Or like, don't raise your voice at me. And
No,
I'm just
realistically,
like, what?
the girls at our school, like their Twitters are just like, whatever the opposite of misogynistic is. Like it's just like
It's like feministic.
men are trash is like the most common. Like if you have nothing to tweet for the day, if you don't have an original thought, just throw that out there. You'll get at least like enough likes to appease your own mind, right?
Once again, double standard. Ariana Grande comes out with a song called "Break Up with Your Boyfriend Cause I'm Bored," or sorry, "Break Up with Your Girlfriend Cause I'm Bored." If a guy had a song, right? If Drake had a song saying like, "Yo, break up with your
No.
boyfriend," I'm trying to knock
I actually
you down.
disagree with this.
Actually, if Drake released that song, people would love it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Also, I would just like to point out that she didn't say cheat on your girlfriend, I'm bored. She said break up with your girlfriend,
Listen,
I'm bored.
If anything,
listen,
that's
listen,
great.
listen.
Yeah.
If you get a text, if your mans gets a text saying, "Hey, break up with your girlfriend because I'm bored," you're fighting that girl. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but
Yes.
like that's up to him now.
That's on him though. Yeah, exactly.
The responsibility is on him. Now, I have another problem, all right? We've seen plus size women in catalogs and whatnot. Good for them.
Yes.
But you will never see Rikishi on the cover of any magazine. Alright, I'm mad about that. Like, where's the plus size? Like, every, like, Instagram
Hey.
model guy is, like, jacked, like a 7-pack and shit.
So
like,
you're trying to have body positive
I
male
need, when are
models?
dad bods gonna pop off?
Listen,
Dad bods are popping off.
Yes.
y'all aren't fighting for it though. There's many of plus size women who are out there being like, love me, I respect my body, you should too. I don't see no men doing
But
that.
here's the thing: they get a bunch of likes.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
if I post a shirtless picture of myself today, right, and post all of that, the same, I will copy paste Ashley Graham's like Instagram post and put it on SF.
No, I bet it
Ashley's
would.
getting 2 likes.
No,
No,
I
big
bet you would
facts.
get more. I bet you would get more because people haven't seen it coming from men. I could be wrong, but I haven't really seen men like fighting.
I also think
Because
I think women are more supportive of women though. That's a bigger thing.
That's true.
I think women are more like appropriate. You know what I mean? Like if you post something super positive on like let's not even take Instagram, like your LinkedIn, your Facebook, right? More women are more easily to reply like, "Hey, great job." Like other than like a guy, like the guy's equivalent of is that like yeah, like. I don't think SF's ever been like good job or I've ever been like, "Hey SF, congrats on this."
we don't
Like,
like
we
each
don't do
other's
that.
shit. And also, us dad bods have been like curb stomped into the ground so far. Like, we're the least accepted group out there.
Nah, some people.
That's not true.
Leonardo DiCaprio's knocking hoes down.
That's
Still,
different. He first of all, he's rich. Second of all, he has a good looking face. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Leo doesn't. I don't know.
and he used to be like mad hot or whatever.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, one thing I was thinking, just a passing thought right now, I haven't fully developed this thought, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
I feel like for men, like, not having a typical body isn't a barrier to success. But for women, if you have an atypical body, having an atypical body is part of what you're known for. So, like, DJ Khaled and there's a lot of unfit rappers. Nobody knows them as, like, oh, he's the big guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's just known for his character. For women, if you're, like, plus-sized or something, like, that has to get added to your title. Like, oh, the most successful plus-size woman rapper. You know what I mean?
Nah, big facts. You know,
That's actually
no
true.
one cares about Rick Ross.
I never thought about
Yeah,
that point.
Nobody cares that DJ
Yeah.
Khaled's fat. Like, it sometimes it adds character to his thing, but nobody knows him as, like, oh, DJ Khaled, the fat producer. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I mean?
true.
Yeah, like,
But
I
if it was a woman, then it's like,
That's
oh,
true,
you have
yeah.
you attribute it to them.
It's also like a yeah. I mean I understand. That's a bad way to say it. I don't understand why that is, but like
But
it makes sense
that is how it is,
because like when Cardi and Nicki perform on stage, right? They have to do like the whole thing, right? They have to be like super fit, like all of it, right? Whereas like Rick Ross or like could just stand there and you know what I mean. Everyone
And
would
be
be like,
wearing,
yeah,
like, a Walmart t-shirt, and it's fine.
It's fine. I get that. I mean, it's a whole performance aesthetic.
it becomes part of your persona too if you're a woman. Like Meghan Trainor, like she had to make a song about it.
What did she?
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's how she become
my hips and
popular.
thighs. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
the song was.
Yeah, Rick Ross not gonna come out with a song about being fat,
Yeah, like, not
or
every...
has he?
I don't know. I'm sure he's dropped a bar or two about it, right?
Yeah, I have a question. How do all like male celebrities like get jacked? Like, where do they find the time between being
Steroids.
rich all the time? Like,
Steroids.
That's because they can hire people to do all their meals and all their training.
And steroids.
And
You're
steroids.
telling me Christian Bale went from being like an anorexic like drug addict from one movie, and then 30 days later he turned into the Batman. Like that's not a thing.
You ever seen one of those videos where like we train like superheroes for like 30 days?
Oh, and their bodies do
Yeah,
change,
yeah.
so maybe there's some credit to that.
I'd never do shit like that and keep the dad bod. I'd rather complain about not being accepted for my dad bod than do anything about it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, actors and actresses do like crazy things to like fit into roles. Like they'll lose like 50 pounds in like a month.
Yeah.
To look like emaciated for like a role or something like that, or they'll gain like 30 pounds to be.
You know what sucks about those?
It's
When
wild.
they do it and the movie is terrible. You know, like 50 Cent, like when he like lost like 70 pounds and the movie got like 5% on Rotten Tomatoes and nobody watched that shit.
No, it's the opposite. Like if you get
He
fat
still
for a
got
movie,
paid,
though.
if you get fat for a movie and it tanks, then you took an
Oh,
L.
yeah.
At least you like develop your health
Yeah.
the other way around.
That's true.
Oh, nice. All right. This is a good segue since we were talking about double standards and relationships and questions. This is my relationship question of the day.
All right.
So Valentine's Day just passed, right? What do you feel about, like, what's the approach, like, if you're talking to a girl, this is why I said, like, this would be a good question. If you're talking to a girl for, like, 2-3 weeks, right? There's 2 questions to this. A, are you dating? B, are you allowed to talk to other girls-guys in this period of time?
What does this have to do with Valentine's Day?
Oh, because I was going to ask, like, would you get this girl anything?
Okay, so put that aside for now. So I guess the actual question you're asking is, if you're talking to someone for 2 to 3 weeks, are you dating and are you allowed to see other people?
Yes.
That's the question?
So, like, this person that I follow, she, of course, like you said, like, girls, like, the typical Instagram post, if you don't have anything to post, is, like, men are trash, right? So I follow a couple female Finstas, and this one girl just rants about how this one guy asked her out on a date, but the next day, he was also planning on asking, like, they both didn't know, he didn't know that they were friends, was gonna ask her friend on a date, and he didn't know that they were friends, and then they found out, and then they colluded against him to embarrass him on Instagram.
Okay, well, the colluding part, that's typical.
Yep. Very appropriate.
Yeah, that's right. I just imagine those secret meetings going down where they like...
No, so in her Instagram post, she described the secret meeting. She was like, I bumped into my good friend, yada yada, at Taco Bell, right? And she asked me, hey, what are you doing today? And I told her about my date with this really nice guy. And then she told me she had a similar date with the same guy tomorrow. And then that's how they colluded.
I've actually sat in on one of these collusion meetings.
I was like, yes, he slid into my DMs too.
I've been this. Like, I took 2 of my female friends to Taco Bell.
Yes.
And they had a very long discussion about how they're going to terrorize this young man. And they convinced me that it was valid, like it was warranted. But I was with them, and they bought me something, so I was like, fine.
That's the collusion venue of choice, Taco Bell. That's where,
Okay,
that's where these hoes get together.
The collusion is always like, I'm gonna take him out on a date, you be there. That's it. Like, that's it. He's walking.
I feel like there's layers to this. So first layer is like, when it comes to like online dating, like if you're like on Tinder and whatever, and you're seeing multiple people, I think that's fine because it's more like, it's superficial. Your only reason you're asking this person out on a date is because you found them attractive, like through their pictures, and then you message for a little bit.
Okay, so
but if it's someone you know in person, so correct me if I'm wrong in this situation.
He slid into the DMs.
Oh, then I don't think she can be mad.
He slid into both DMs.
That's fine.
Like, he doesn't really know either of them.
Okay, because I was gonna say,
Like, I'm sure he's like seen them around or like talked to them here and
Yeah.
there, but he's not like, oh, like we're friends.
but he knows they're friends.
He doesn't know that they're friends.
So I mean, can you really blame him? Because I was gonna say, if it's a scenario where like he's seen them around school or something like that, and then he asked one out and he asked the other one out, fully knowing that they were friends. That's all. That's he asked for it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you with the reverse. How about this? There's a female, and she, like, you guys go out, but nothing's official yet.
Yeah.
Then she asks out your boy, right?
Like, my boy?
Your boy.
Nah, then no.
It's a dub.
Yeah, because like, guys' loyalty is like, for me, like, just different. Like, I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not even talking about like, because girls, like, they use the word, like, I don't know, like, not just, I'm not even gonna generalize that to girls. I'm gonna say people in general loosely use the word friend, right? Like, you know, girls like some girl that they know on Instagram is their friend, right? I'm saying like your actual boy, right? It depends. What is his answer? I think that's a dub. It doesn't even matter what his answer is. She's a dub. You can't take that.
Nah, because like if
because the whole time, like, let's say you guys get together. Now the whole time you're thinking like, damn, she actually want to smash my friend too. Like, what?
All right, how about this?
You're living with that?
Pretend. All right, 2 random girls you were seeing at the same time, whatever. Not like actually seeing, but, you know, like take them out to fucking pizza
Chipotle,
once in a while, whatever,
yeah.
right? Valentine's Day comes around. Do you buy one of them a Valentine's gift? Do you buy both of them a Valentine's Day gift?
Ah,
What? I'm not answering this question.
No, I want to know. I want to know what you do. Not that I would ever be even remotely next to the situation. I've been alone for 7 years straight.
I would never time anything that poorly. Like, who does that shit?
Probably vanishes.
Like, what type of, like, you masochist, why would you set two things up that aren't real things
All right, let me put you a scenario, all right?
to get to Valentine's Day so you can spend double the money for some
Let me pitch you a
shit?
scenario. February 11th,
Oh, so I'm gonna put you a real scenario. Alright, go.
your phone's been dead for a month, right?
Yes.
You finally got it fixed. You open it up. 2 super likes.
2 super likes.
2 super likes.
Wow.
They're both okay.
That's like double the super like
Yeah.
average per like month, but
No,
Then
better.
you just wait 3 days.
yeah, exactly.
No, you gotta.
Sorry, 4 days.
If she really super liked you, right? Like, listen.
It could wait a couple of days.
Yeah, if she super likes you, like, listen, like she'll reply in 4 to 5.
You can just wait until after Valentine's.
Yeah.
Don't
Have you
wait
ever like
before.
even like interacted with Tinder?
No.
No. Okay.
No, well, actually, I have interacted with Tinder, but it was because I took my friend's phone and I was like, "Can you show me Tinder?" And then I just swiped.
Oh
for
yes.
her.
Yo.
Swiping for other people is so much fun.
No, girls' Tinder is so much more fun than guys' Tinder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that for a fact.
Oh,
How
you.
come?
Huh? Because girls get like 1,000% more likes, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you look like as a girl, because every guy he hops on, it doesn't matter if it's past 2 a.m. and he's a little bit drunk, right?
Well, have you seen that thing on like Twitter or whatever where it's like this rotating thing and you just spin it and it spins right on every single person? It's like a little tool you can get that's like it's a what's the thing called that you can stylus? Oh yeah, there's like a little stylus and then you just like spin it and it keeps swiping for you.
Yo.
See, like shit like that. And you know what? Guys are the only ones that I know that pay for Tinder premium.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Girls will never have to pay for premium.
Girls never get premium.
No, I
'cause they're
think
like,
as you get older, girls start paying for that stuff.
What?
I know people who pay
Really?
for.
I'd assume
advanced.
like if anything, girls should get extra features for free because
that's
no
a
one's
good
gonna pay for it.
conversation to have. Okay, like because of our age difference, right? Like right now, if like somebody were to start dating, right? Like that's like your age, right? Which is like a couple years older than us, right? Like what is their go-to? Because that's one of my not fears, because I don't have that fear right now, but like one of my concerns, right? Is like if you're single post college, right? What are your avenues for dating? Like you know who you know. Like
Yeah,
who are you
so
meeting?
but my friends that are single struggle with this a lot.
Like who? Like how are they meeting people?
eHarmony.
They're not. No, I'm just kidding. They're
I'm just like, listen, those are single people problems. I don't give a fuck.
no. They meet people through online dating, but the thing is, online dating is so like shallow. Unless you really hit it off with somebody, you're only going on 1 or 2 dates with them.
I don't think I could ever have a relationship from an online dating.
I think the same
Cool.
thing, but it's easy for me to say that because I've never done it.
I don't think I could ever do it.
My 2 friends that are single that are on it, one's a guy and one's a girl. The girl,
Just mash them together.
no, that won't. We're like, they're all in my friend group.
Oh, okay.
They would not fit with each other at all. But the girl, like, she meets a lot of people. But again, it's just like she'll hang out with one for a while and then it kind of falls off. She'll hang out with another one and hangs out. That same thing happens. And then even for the guy, like, first of all, it's harder for him to meet people than it is for
Yeah,
her.
100%. Unless he's super liking.
It takes
he
a
has to be super
while.
liking.
It takes a while for him to find somebody, and then when he does, it'll be like she'll flake on him, or he'll hang out with her once or twice, and then it's over. So
Nah, but I feel like once you grow up, like once you're in your late 20s, it's you're kind of have to like
You just have to find something and hold on forever.
you have to go on a Christian mingle, like every single one of those like websites sign up.
I think that's why like things like, you know, like people always like gun on them, but like places like, you know, like Minder, like Shadi.com, like those shits are actually like popping because of this reason. Because after a certain age, you realize like, holy shit, like it's either get married right now or just die alone.
well, those are intense because like you actually have to put. So somebody I know recently like joined like one of those apps, like Minder Must Match, one of those, and it's like you actually have to say like how soon you're trying to get married and all that kind of stuff. So your profile says like seeks marriage in 1 to 2 years.
Oh, that's
a lot
way
of
too much
pressure.
info.
So I'm putting
That's a lot of pressure. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you're joining Muzzmatch and stuff like that, the goal is marriage, right?
Yeah, you're
When
right.
you're brown, the goal is marriage, and that's what it says. It's like
Imagine
like,
us if on Muzmatch trying to knock these hoes down.
I'll
They're
be
just
there.
super, like,
Give me 2 to 3 years, I'll be on there. All right, it's coming. But I feel like, how did people meet people back in the day? Like, you see Friends, like Ross has a new girl every like 3
that's
weeks.
different. See, back then it was more appropriate. This is like a societal thing. I think it was more appropriate for you to actually go up to somebody you didn't know and like try to start something off, right? Be like, hey, like I like your shoes, whatever, right? And then go into the whole thing. Now, if some guy comes up to like immediately, that girl's gonna text all her friends and they're all gonna gun on this guy for even trying. They're gonna be like, why did you just come up to me? At this?
unless he's cute.
No.
That only happens to ugly guys.
Oh shit!
Did you see this double standard? If I said that about a girl, people in the comments right now would be like misogynist, right? You can't just be shaming
Let's
ugly
keep it
girls
100.
like that.
A random guy walks up to you. If he's cute and he flirts with you, you're like, oh, okay. If he's ugly, oh, what a creep.
That's true.
It's just the truth. That's what happens.
Big facts.
Big facts. But like,
I've actually never done it. I've never even like approached a random person. It's never happened.
I think it's still normal, but it's harder because
yeah,
usually people are out in groups. Like I feel like people are more cliquey now because like you don't go out with the purpose of meeting people anymore like you probably did back in the day. Like back in the day, people probably socialize a lot more just to be like out at places where there's people. Nowadays, it's like because we're always in communication and there's online dating. If you're hanging out for fun, you're hanging out with your crew. Yeah. You're not really there to like hang out with other
Nobody
people.
plays doubles tennis anymore. It's not like you and a girl go out, right? Or you and a guy, like, you know what I mean? Like you and your boy go out, just you two, right?
Yeah.
Then you become the two creepy Persian guys who are always standing at the bar, like just going everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? I feel like it's because now when there's no one around you or you have no one to talk to, you just whip out your phone.
Oh, that's
back in the day. You just stand there staring at a wall, right?
Exactly, and that gives as a guy, or not even as a guy, as a suitor, it gives you an opening to.
You have to make sure to say not a guy, but a suitor.
Yo, we traveled back into like the 1800s real quick.
You could be a female suitor. Listen,
sure, fine. Actually.
We're trying to balance this podcast. That's why we have. You could easily come, like, you know what I mean, like if. Nobody's on their phone, they're not doing anything. That gives you an opening to go up, start a conversation, right? But if you don't have that, then, like, if you're on your phone, like, I'm not gonna come up to you. Like, you're clearly, like, distracted.
Yeah, we as a people don't even, like, expect people to talk to us anymore.
Yeah,
like,
that's
sometimes
weird.
I'll be out with, like, one of my friends and we'll just be, like, sitting, hanging out, and someone will, like, come start conversation with us, and we, like, don't know how to react because we're like, is this normal?
Yeah.
Dude, but see, that's the problem. Because as soon as somebody does talk to you, you automatically assume it's because they're trying to smash.
No,
like,
sometimes
that's the general assumption.
Okay, but literally the other day, like Friday night, I was out with my guy friend and we were just sitting together, and the guy next to him just was like, "Oh, hey, how are you? Are you having a good night?" Like, it was not flirting at all. It was just a guy.
Nah, that guy was trying to.
No, he wasn't. He was there with the girl. He was there with the girl.
Oh no, he was into some weird shit.
He was trying to open up his options.
He was sitting next to us. The girl went to the bathroom. And he was just sitting there. So
this was Friday?
Yeah, this was Friday.
So it's probably a bad Valentine's Day.
Yeah, no, what a
It was a
perfect
bad
time.
Valentine's Day, and he's trying to end that shit real quick.
Bro, all you know, that girl could have climbed out the window in the bathroom. Like,
she came back, and then they left together.
Oh, no. That, like,
well,
he
probably dropped her off. That shit was going wrong.
Regardless.
That was like a super like on Tinder, and then it ended really poorly.
Let me explain. If that's going right for that guy, he's texting all his boys like, yeah, I'm about to hit. Yeah. But if it's going poorly,
he's talking to your guy friend.
But regardless, the point is, he started a conversation with a stranger.
Oh no!
And like there was a boxing match on the TV, so he I was like, oh, do you know who these people are? Blah blah blah. And then my friend was like, yeah.
I do that, but
actually had a conversation.
I do that too, but like I do it to people that I know like will never assume a different thing. Like I always do it to like that's why I love talking to older people, like old people, like at like airports and stuff. I'll just like randomly talk to them.
I don't like that you just talk to old people at airports.
Why?
I feel like that's a good way of getting abducted or something.
No, they have like really good stories. Like he'll just always come up with like like I had lunch with President Reagan.
How frequently are you macking on old people at the airport?
Like pretty often, bro. Like that's my go-to. One couple actually bought me like lunch, and I was kind of concerned, but like I was like, "Yeah, cool, free lunch."
Oh my god!
What the fuck? I can't accept this.
I'm not. You know, just like ending off the Tinder conversation. You realize how many girls use Tinder as like an Uber Eats? Like,
oh yeah, free meal. I'm hungry tonight.
I'm a super like on. Oh, he says he has a car. Super like.
Okay, I want to give you.
Drive me to Shake Shack.
I want to give you some perspective. All right. When me and my friends went to Myrtle Beach for spring break like last year, right?
Yes.
And it was just 4 guys and 1 girl, right?
Yes.
And this girl is like a relatively attractive white female, right?
Yes.
For like, we wanted something.
Yes.
I don't go further than that, right? But like, we didn't know how to get it.
Yes.
So
You pimped her out.
No. Not only that, like 2 of the guys there made a fake Tinder with her pictures, and she used her regular Tinder. And we maybe aggregated about 900 likes over the course of like...
Solid. That's usual girl shit.
And half the texts were like, "You're not real," right?
That's also a real thing. That's my biggest fear. That's personally why I couldn't... Like, we always talk about, like, this is a completely serious fear. That's why I could never have, like, an online relationship, like, starting from an online relationship. Because, like, my biggest fear is, like, we end up with somebody from, like Dan Humphrey from You, and, like, they start, like, murdering me and shit.
Did you just call, like, his character from
Yes.
Gossip Girl in You?
Yes.
2 different shows.
He's the same person. He was a stalker in Gossip Girl. He's a stalker in You.
Extra creepy in You. I mean, I obviously haven't online dating, and hopefully, knock on wood, I won't have to ever, but I don't think I could even accurately depict myself on a profile.
That's big facts.
So, like, you're supposed to judge people off of their profiles, and like, when I swipe for my friends, like, I'm very judgmental, but I'm like, if the tables were turned, I'd be screwed.
Yeah, no, that's like, when I had one, like, I had one, like, last year, I used pictures from, like, 2014 when I was skinny. Like, like, my like, 3rd grade pictures, like...
And SF on the first date just wears, like, a bunch of jackets.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, it's layers. It's layers.
I got a 6-pack under me. And you know what? I don't know. What would you put in your bio? Like, what could you possibly put in there?
See,
I have no idea.
I was going through the girls' bios, right? And it's always, like, some, like, girls think they're, like, super witty, right? So it's always, like, give me your best pun. Give me your best, like, whatever.
No, that's
and then there's always the generic, oh, you know what? Just take me out for food. Actually, just buy me food, right? Like, those are, like, the 3 go-tos.
There's a very
Venmo me $5 for a
Yes.
surprise.
That's what I was about to
Yes.
say. The people, first of all, it'll be like a girl whose face looks like athlete's foot being like, you know...
Who are the guys that are Venmoing her?
Who is Venmo? Like, what kind of mystery box bullshit is this? Like, you send her
The
$5, she mails you, like, a
sock.
tuna casserole. Like, what the fuck you...
You know the bitch with athletes who doesn't know how to cook a tuna casserole. She's sending her a sock.
It's never, like, the actually, like, just, like, decently attractive girls. It's always, like, some bullshit, like, her picture is, like, her, like, bent over, looking through between her legs, like, staring at the thing, like...
Or it's a super attractive girl that has a fake profile.
No. The worst one is Venmo me $5, and the picture is 19 different girls, right? The next picture is 14 different girls, none of the same ones from the first one. And the third one is an Asian girl that wasn't in any of the pictures.
And you have to, like, compare and contrast to figure out which one is the one that remained.
The last one's a meme. It's always some bullshit.
No. Anyway.
No, okay, one last thing. Have you ever, like, swiped on Tinder and then there's just, like, random profiles, no picture, no bio, just a name and an age? What are you doing with the app? Like, what is going on here?
You know what? That profile probably got some super likes.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like, the guy was probably like, oh, your name is Amy? That sounds like an attractive name.
And
Super like.
you're into hella characters, too. Like, I ran into Cookie Monster on there. I'm like, why is Cookie Monster a female, first of all?
Listen, she like cookies, right? She's probably, like, sending you a subliminal message, like, you know, like, Venmo me money so I can go buy cookies. Dope. So, Grammys passed, which I wanted to talk about. What'd you guys think? Overall thoughts?
Boring as fuck.
Meh.
Okay, why? I'm gonna need more than meh and boring as fuck.
Okay, realistically, how did Sicko Mode not win Song of the Year?
What did win Song of the Year?
God's Plan.
I think from like a... Damn, that's a good question. I don't even know. I think from a...
I have the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Answer.
It's because people who are not black also vote on the awards.
What? No, Astroworld is like a white anthem.
Hold on. That actually brings up a good, bigger point, right? I think the votes that you're getting... So, like, it's part of, like, the Grammy committee, right? Those are the people who elect all these, like, winners and stuff, right? And I don't know who sits on it, and this is a very general assumption, but I'm sure we could Google it and I would be right. I'm assuming most of the Grammy committee is white. Like, you said this on our last podcast, right? And we said there's no way that This Is America is going to win, right?
Yeah.
From that one Record of the Year, right?
Yeah.
We're like, there's no way. And the whole time I'm watching this with one of my friends, and she goes, of course it's going to win, right? The Grammy committee loves Childish Gambino because he's the most non-threatening, like black artist. Period. Right. So because of that, like you would get the majority of the votes. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Sicko Mode just got disqualified because the people on the board didn't know what a sicko was. If you, like, realistically, like, Sicker Mode, why is this ill guy making a song?
What did I say about Casey Musgraves?
What? Isn't it Casey Musgraves?
Nah, it's better if it's Miss Gravis.
So I did the podcast last week. I've never heard of her name ever. So the whole podcast I'm referring to her as Casey Musgraves.
No, it's Casey Musgraves.
But doesn't she sound so much more exotic when you call her Miss Gravis?
When I hear Musgraves, I think of a skunk. I don't know why.
No, I think of the Naked Mole rap from Kim Possible.
I haven't listened to her, but she is very talented.
She is, and from her like acceptance speech, I was like, wow, like I kind of like you as like a person, right? But at the same time, like I'm just thinking from from just like a societal hit, right? Like, we have 3 people in the room that, you know, generally listen to a lot of music, right? You ever hear a Casey Musgraves album?
By a lot of
Why
music.
are you still ruining her name even though you know how to say
Casey
that?
Musgraves will
Now,
ever...
realistically, Api listens to a bunch of different music. I listen to only rap, and that's basically...
Was she on your radar? Ever?
No.
But
Have you
that's
heard the
not
name
for
Isn't
before?
she a country artist?
Yes.
I don't listen
There's
to
another
country
half
music.
of the entire country that we don't take into account, and they also probably loved Casey Musgraves.
Honestly, I don't even like. I used to listen regularly to like the top charts just to see what was out there. I don't even do that anymore. I mainly just listen to what I listen
You
to.
think she's on the top charts?
Yeah, she is. I checked after
Like
the Grammys.
No. We're not talking like top country. We're talking top period. Like
Yes.
top 40, like
Yes.
US.
Yes.
She's on it?
Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
So, what did you think about the performances?
I mean,
What
you can go first.
do you think about, what were your thoughts about the J-Lo Motown performance?
Well, Jennifer Lopez is a great performer, but Motown is a genre that is like African American rooted
Yes.
and all that kind of stuff. So it was silly to me that they, of all people, to do the.
Is she not like half black?
No.
I don't think so.
She's, no.
Even if she was, the performance wasn't like a Motown tribute other than the songs that were selected. It was J-Lo being J-Lo. Like the crazy costumes, really like sexy dancing, all that kind of stuff. It was a J-Lo performance.
Did people go
It was-
apeshit on Twitter about that?
I think that was...
people were upset about it.
I think that was the general sentiment, saying that, like, her performance, she's always going to be a good performer, right? It's
Yeah.
J-Lo, she dances, like, she's always going to be good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really authentic to Motown, right? Like,
Yeah.
they skipped a lot of, like, vocally requiring songs that are very pivotal to Motown, right? Skipped a lot of Marvin Gaye records, like, stuff like that.
And, like, they did the Aretha Franklin tribute, and that was good. Like, they
That was
had,
good.
like,
Solid.
really good people that could actually, like, fit the range and could fit, like, the vibe of that music and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know why the Motown one went to shit.
Dolly Partons, what do you guys think about that?
I thought it was good because, like, Miley Cyrus's cover of Jolene is, like, one of the most popular things online.
Oh,
So the fact
yeah.
that they got her on the stage
do
to do it with Dolly Parton was great.
Yo, Miley had the craziest, one of the top 10 rebrands of all time.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Like, her rebrand was wild. Like, people look at her now like, oh, like, thank God for Miley. Like, yeah. Like, I think people forget the, like, 7-8 years ago where Miley was twerking on, like, a teddy bear.
No one will
Like,
forget that. No one will.
you can't forget
No
it.
one will forget
No,
that.
but people look at her now like, oh, she's so wholesome with, like, Liam Hemsworth. Like, they forgot, they literally blocked that out of their mind.
She had to flip the switch, you know what I'm saying? And I respect it.
How'd you guys feel about, this is, like, the last Grammy thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know how, like, the Grammys does, like, the tribute section of, like, the people who passed away in the past year in music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do, like, basically everybody, like, all the sound engineers and stuff like that. So they left out X, right?
All right, there's a stigma. I have this problem, right? When it comes to, like, artists, like Louis C. It's, like, not just music artists, right?
Okay.
Entertainers in general.
Yes.
Where I feel like I'm biased because I like them. Like,
Okay.
the whole Louis C.K. thing,
Mm-hmm.
the X thing,
Yeah.
I like them. So I kind of, like, I feel biased against whatever everyone else is saying. But now I think about it, if he did smack that woman around, I feel like it would be wrong to support him.
So here's the thing. Like, the Grammy, like, the tribute section is super long. Like, it's a bunch of people, right? And are you saying that the Grammys did a background check on all those sound engineers, all those people who worked, like, you're saying all of those people had, like, no instances of any wrongdoing, period?
Okay, this brings me into a conversation I would like to talk about, and it's kind of unrelated to this. All right, but is it really possible to separate the artist from the person? Right, like Louis C.K. Like, he's probably the greatest comedian of our current generation, but he did some fuck shit.
It's
Right?
a wild statement. I'm not going to address that statement right now.
No, I don't want you to give a solid opinion.
Yeah.
Like, so what happened was, all right, this is a wrestling thing. All right, there's an announcer named Corey Graves. Right, he's been married for 11 years.
Is he related to Casey Musgraves?
No. He was married for 11 years, and yesterday it came out that he was smashing some random, like, some other
Yes.
random thing. And his wife, like, exposed him on Instagram, tweeted out, like, a bunch of texts of him threatening to sue her if she, like, called him out for it. And now everyone's calling for him to get fired.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, businesses, period, are all based off of public relations, right? So at that point, it becomes a business decision. It doesn't matter about your own personal feelings about anything, realistically, right? From a business perspective, if, like, let's say, like, we were all working at some corporate company, even if we did something that like was like super low key that everyone does, right? Like that's why people don't even like a lot of people don't even drink around their coworkers because they know how they act once under the influence. So they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna avoid it altogether, right?
Right.
Because I don't want that like negative stigma around me for whatever reason, right? So therefore you don't risk that because of like it's all about perception. So like things like that, like of course if the WWE feels like that, oh, the perception is bad of him, all right, so fuck it, get rid of him.
Yeah, even like I work in corporate America, and in our like employee handbook and all that kind of stuff, it says like, use your social media responsibly. If you're like posting opinions of stuff and like you're posting about yourself, you have to make it clear that you're only speaking on your own behalf and not the company's.
Yeah.
So if like something bad were to happen to me and it was public or whatever, and people knew like, oh, she works at this company, the company can technically fire me because they don't want that image associated with someone who works at their company. And that I wouldn't be able to sue them for it.
Damn. What's the percentage you think of us getting canceled?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. We've already said some controversial shit.
No, I'm not getting
And we're about to say worse.
I'm not saying worse. We always we're super PC. What are you talking about?
Some bullshit. I'm glad we only get like 3 viewers, and half of them are
super PC.
Most of them are talking on this podcast right now.
I am afraid to be on this.
The worst thing we've said was Casey Moves Gravis.
This episode.
And we didn't say that, you did.
Nah, it's just on the Casey Moves Gravis train.
No, I want to address some controversy. So I've been told that everyone's noticed how most of our titles have the word penis in it. And we're gonna make this right.
Why do they all have penis?
Yo, you think I named them? Aram names them, okay?
You guys talk about much more interesting things than penis.
Which says a lot about Aram, right?
Yo, you say I give the the thought of the name probably like 5 seconds for each podcast, right? And it's always like I'll click to a random segment, right? Like I'll just click on a random part of it, and whatever we say in the first like 3 lines of that, like from where I click, that's what goes on.
I'm gonna need you to dedicate 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like a whole time.
We're gonna need a little bit more effort than that. Like,
can I name this Casey Moves Gravis?
Casey Moves Gravis' penis. There you
Casey
go.
Moves Gravis.
No. We started. We should just keep going. Every episode.
It's a different celebrity's penis. I'm
gonna go back and change the titles. Like I'm this close.
No.
I'm gonna have to.
No.
I didn't get your opinion on the X thing.
The X thing. I'm gonna just leave it.
You're gonna leave it?
I understand why they didn't do it. I'm not gonna be pissed about it, right? First of all, who really gives a shit about the Grammys anymore?
That's what I think.
The people give a shit
I know
about the
our
Grammys
family
don't
all watches the Grammys, right?
I just watch every award show though.
Yeah, but like
every music award show.
But I don't think I used to think that the Grammys were like this huge thing that everyone watched, right? And this year, like after like the Grammys, like I went to hang out with like a couple of friends, right? And they're like, "Oh, like what were you doing, right?" And like I was like, "Oh, I was just like watching the Grammys." They all flamed the fuck out of me. They're like, "You fucking loser! Why are you watching the Grammys? Who watches the Grammys?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought this was
I think it's still technically the most prestigious musical award you can win.
Yeah, but it's also a bunch of bullshit.
Where does that? I mean, that's kind of what we should talk about that too. That's kind of what Drake was alluding to too. I was gonna ask, like, where does that like validation come from, right? Like, it's a made up award, just like there's like a BET award and an AMA award, right? They're just all random.
It's like movies winning awards from critics.
What do you mean? No, but don't you think that actually has like an effect on like sales and stuff?
It doesn't do the same thing for music.
You think so? Like you think just
how many people do you think went and listened to Casey Musgraves after the Grammys?
Who's Gravis, but
a lot. I just double checked after I said she was on the charts. She's not on the charts, but you know, like the top hit, like the current like top hits or whatever. Her song is on there. I don't know if it was on there before the Grammys.
So like so that's one point, but like counter, is Drake relevant because of the Grammys, or is Drake?
No, but the Grammys validated that Drake is relevant. Well, here's the thing, Drake. Okay, not even Drake in general. So like Grammys and like Oscars, like those award shows are supposed to take a approach on these things as of like a form of art, not popularity.
Yeah.
I'm sure because people are making judgments on this, popularity will factor into it.
Yeah.
But like, I think so. Again, now that everybody can be online and everyone has an opinion, I don't think we care so much about the opinions of the critics or the professionals. Yeah. But back in the day, I think watching the Grammys or watching the Oscars is how you find out like what was the most artistically well done.
It helped people decide their opinions. Like they'd be like, "Oh, this album of the year, I love this album." Then
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why they probably don't matter as much anymore, because like everybody's opinion's out there. You don't have to watch the Grammys to know what album was most appreciated this year or things like that. Everybody's opinion's out there. But without those, before it was like, oh, I don't actually know artistically what was the best album out there.
You think it's over for the Grammys? You think people are gonna keep showing up? Like I don't think Drake's ever showing up again.
Yo, I want you to like. Didn't Travis's performance seem like half-hearted just because he lost the Grammy? He seemed like he didn't give a shit at all.
No, I think he was actually upset.
Yeah, he was definitely.
Because Drake kind of addressed that in mid-speech.
Yeah.
He's all I know it means.
That man looks so defeated, and he deserved it too.
I mean, think about it as as an individual, right? Like forget like corporate America, like anything. If you put your best, like you know what I mean, like you put everything you have into one piece of work, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it be a presentation or a song, right? And you want that level of achievement, and you don't get it. That is
Lost It to God's Plan, which is just an okay good song.
Yeah, I mean it's disheartening, but like you know, it is what it is. You really can't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. But dope. Look at this. This podcast has balance now. Look at that.
Yo, we need more guests.
Let's get your mom. I want to hear
honestly, I'm gonna ask my mom one day.
I want to hear the story about why we call Appy Appy. Like, I'm gonna be like, yo, why? Thank you guys for all listening to episode 6 of the All In Podcast.
What a weird transition. You go from voice to voice.
Tune in next week when we have. Do we have guests from next week?
We do.
All right, we ain't gonna announce the guests, but we have guests next week. So tune in. Peace.